Well, hello everybody in Quantum Healing Circle for Women. How's everyone doing? All you beautiful souls out there. I have a wonderful guest today. I spent, about half an hour already chatting and getting to know her, and you're going to love what she brings today. So my guest today is Cheryl Meyer, and she's called the Health Muse, and you learn more about that when you meet her. Welcome, Cheryl, to our circle today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and it's fun to talk to you.
Oh, we are so happy to have you here. I know you are going to share so much that's really going to be helpful to our members today. So first of all, Cheryl, tell us where you reside at this moment.
I am living 15 minutes south of Sedona, Arizona, which is one of the most beautiful places on earth. And so I am very blessed.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we're going to hear all about the beautiful work that you are doing. But before that, tell us, what gets you up in the morning? What are you so excited about that gets you up in the morning? You can't wait to get going.
I'm excited about two things. I was a business owner. I did everything to be successful, but I crashed and burned because I did not take care of myself. So it took me 8 years to climb out of the hole that I fell in. I ended up with multiple autoimmune diseases. I ended up with type 2 diabetes. I ended up with a fatty liver, which I found by accident because you don't know that you have it unless they're looking for something else. And I was 80 pounds heavier. And I went to the doctor because I woke up one morning and everything in my body hurt. She had no clue what was wrong with me. And I said, well, I'm going to go find it. So I had a great staff. They took over the business and I dug in. And it took 5 years before I started to be able to function like a regular person again. And I did that by completely changing what I ate. I started eating the rainbow, because all the colors of the rainbow have different gifts and they get together and they party and they create health. I eliminated hundreds of toxins from my environment and my life. And so that helped me return to wellness. And by doing all of that, and stress. I started working on my stress. I had so much stress by being chased by a tiger 24/7 when I wasn't supposed to be, that I actually burned through all my cortisol and was borderline Addison's disease. So I started doing Tao yoga, which I love because you don't tie yourself into a knot when you're doing it, but it's asymmetric and it releases all of the top off of the toxic stress. So those were the three places that I started. And I started coming back to a place where I started feeling really great. And I was having conversations with people everywhere, at the grocery store and in the dental office, and I decided to sell my business, and I went back to school at 67 to become a health coach so that I had the certification for everything that I had learned. And so my big passion now is we have way more power than anyone has ever told us that we have over our health. And I want people to know that, to own their own health. And it doesn't mean that they don't have healthcare providers. But when I have a healthcare provider, he knows that I'm in charge of my health, and we have robust conversations where we agree on what we're going to do together, because I keep the ownership at all times, and I research everything. And then I share all of that with my community and the other people in the world. I have 8 books. 2 of them are on Amazon. Several of them are free resources because I'm now 76. And at this stage in my life, I really want to share information so that people know there are so many things they can do to feel as great as I feel. And my first book is called It Feels Good to Feel Good. And when you get it, you don't ever want to give it up.
Yeah. That you have no idea how many people you just helped now, Cheryl, by saying that and sharing your story. Because sometimes, especially women, we tend to lose ourselves in everything else that we are doing, serving everyone else but ourselves, right? And I know you talked about finding that light within and working, doing some self-care. So talk to us about your own self-care. What is it that you did that helped you?
just published a book on Issue, which is a flip book on line, because I want everybody to have access to it. That I call it Radical Self-Care, because I wanted to redefine what is self-care, because it's not just going home at the end of the day and sitting on the couch and watching a movie or taking a bubble.
No.
It's all aspects of your life and building resilience so that no matter what is thrown at you, you can handle it because you have taken such good care of yourself that you're resilient for all of it. So it's your mental health, it's your financial health, it's your emotional health, it's your physical health. You have to take care of all of it. And I sometimes will do it with the children's story of the three little pigs. Do you want to live in the straw house, the stick house, or the stone house? I was living in the straw house. I was flying all over the world. I was eating at night as fast as I was working all day. I was eating on the fly. I was eating all ultra-processed food. My body had nothing to function on. And so when I crashed big. And so you don't want to do that. You don't want the stick house. You don't want a straw house. You want to build that brick house so that your spiritual life, your mental life, all of it is in place, so that when that wolf comes to blow your house down, he can't get anywhere because you are so resilient and you have so many resources available to you that you will stand strong. So one of my favorite things that I have adopted is heart math. And it is a really beautiful practice because your brain wants to talk back, and your brain is ego. And it's a method of, you have actually as many neurons as your heart as you have in your brain. The difference is, if you're in your heart, that's where your love, your compassion, your kindness, all of those things live in your heart. Your brain is your ego, and your brain doesn't want you to change. Your brain wants you to keep the status quo. So it's a way that you breathe, that you quiet down the brain. You tell it to shut the heck up. You go into your heart. You start by remembering something that was really lovely for you. And you breathe there for 3 minutes. And then I do my gratitude, my self-love. Plan out where I'm going to be able to do kindness during the day. That's where I practice my compassion. And the beautiful thing about going into all of that energy for a sustained period of time is it changes your entire energy to be in the day. And then it's really easy to go out into the world and be in the higher vibrations so that people can feel what you're all about as well as know what you're about because you're telling them, so that it's very evident. And the other favorite thing I've discovered in all of this process are glimmers. A glimmer is something that used to go through my head with the speed of light. And it can be all different kinds of things. It might be the way my cat comes and wraps himself around my neck in the morning and purrs. It might be the sunrise that I see when I get up in the morning. A glimmer is anything that brings you pleasure, but the key is to sit with it and feel the glow. So you don't just let it go by. You notice it. And you sit with it so that you get the full enjoyment of it, and then you give gratitude for it, and you move on with your day. And I will tell you, if you do this, you start seeing glimmers all day long. My office, it was at one end of a hallway in our house. My husband's office was at the other. We're running up and down the hallway all day long going, I just had a glimmer. I just had a glimmer. And we share it with each other because they bring us so much joy. And living in joy is the way I want to live the rest of my life.
Oh, wow. You're talking about glimmer, Cheryl. And anyone that's watching, we have orbs coming up again. And so watch for that, you guys. As Cheryl is sharing so much about high vibration, it must be the angels or somebody again that's visiting. And I'm looking like right at that corner and I can see like angel wings. Can you see that?
But I did see the orbs when we were chatting.
Yeah, so just watch for that, you guys, and enjoy these little glimmers that you come across. Yeah, it's amazing. And I love what you are sharing, Cheryl. I'm very passionate about working with energy and the heart, the heart head or mind or whatever you want to call it, the math. That is so, so important to have that connection and to work with that. But something else you mentioned about being in charge of your own health. And my belief is the same. You have to be the CEO of your own health. And you call the shots. You don't listen to what everybody tells you. It's your body. You call the shots. So I'd like you to talk a little more about that, please.
I believe that the foundation for wellness is how you eat. And I don't eat any ultra-processed food at all anymore. And I try to get my food, and I'm from Los Angeles. California grows all the food for the country. So I didn't realize how spoiled I am now that I'm in Arizona. It's been a little trickier to find all my food as close to the farm as possible because it starts to lose all of its goodies within as quickly as 3 days. So 3 days after it's picked, it only has 30% of what it had when it was picked. So I try to get my food as close to where it was grown as I can.
Yes.
But if you can't do that, you want to be eating real, live, organic food. And organic because you don't need the poisons that they're spraying on the plants. And they're doing it in Canada where you are as well as here. You want as clean a food as you can get so that your body can utilize all the goodness from it. And I've become a huge believer that you eat all the colors of the rainbow, and they actually match our chakras in our body. Yes. So when I eat my red, it does take care of my first chakra down there because it will make it even more balanced. So each all the colors feeds my chakras. It also gives me the phytonutrients, which was a new term I didn't know when I got sick. We don't only just have essential nutrients, which are your minerals and your vitamins, but when I got sick 13 years ago, they were just starting to talk about phytonutrients, which are in the plant, not for us, but for the plant. But they have all kinds of magical gifts for the body. There are phytonutrients that'll fight cancer and shoot off darts at them. There are phytonutrients that are great for your brain and stave off depression. There are phytonutrients for your heart, and your heart chakra is green, well, very usually green, and that feeds your heart energy so that it's healthy. Every chakra has foods of the same color that have gifts that feed that chakra energy, and you need all that energy in your body because your mitochondria, which are in the middle of your cells, is where your little battery pack is, and that's what makes your body hum and makes your body be healthy and happy. So I believe that's the first step, and then I have 20 pillars of health altogether because you need 7 hours of sleep. That 6th to 7th hour is when your brain sleeps the plaque out, so you don't get dementia. All of it fits together to make a healthy, well person that is vibrationally healthy as well as physically healthy, and it all is together. And if you're not in the higher vibrations, then you're not going to be well because you're going to be miserable. So if you're down there being a victim, or you're angry, or you're jealous, or any of those things, that's going to eat you from the inside out. So you want to stay in your heart energy, which is where all your beautiful energy is, that beams as far as 3 feet out of your body and can actually change the whole vibration of a room.
Yeah. Oh, that's just so wonderful, what you're sharing, Cheryl. So, we forget that we have to be mind, body, spirit balanced. And sometimes we tend to overdo one over the other, and then we wonder why we're out of balance. So I love what you talked about, the nutrition part of it. What about like the body part of it, like moving the body? Do you have different ways that, even just basic things that you can share?
Movement is one of the pillars of health. And you have to move in order for your body to function properly. And that's also good for your mitochondria. The mitochondria are your energy pack, so you need to move to keep them revved up so that they can keep your whole body functioning properly. Stress control. I stop every day at 10 and at 2 and do breathing exercises
Mm-hmm.
because I want to release the toxic stress that's off my body. And I learned when I got sick, if you have stress, it interferes with every system in your body and it creates illness. And so you don't want that. You want to be in the higher vibrations. You want to be healthy. You only want to be, everybody has stress. That's perfectly normal, but you don't want that toxic stuff that's eating at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes also with anxiety and other things. And one of the things I've learned is your happy hormones get turned on by eating the way I'm recommending. If you eat rainbow, your body breaks it down, your vagal nerve is in your gut, the fiber that's in real food, that's not in processed food, actually is where the nutrients and the phytonutrients jump on board and go piggyback over to your vagal nerve, which is the superhighway to your body, and then they go up to your brain and turn on your dopamine, your serotonin, your oxytocin, and your GABA, which is all your different pleasure hormones that make you automatically happy. My feet hit the ground and I'm happy in the morning now.
Yeah.
Because I eat right, I live right, I'm grateful. And the more you're grateful, the more the universe brings you to be grateful about. All of those things feed your happiness and your joy. And the whole purpose of us being here is to live in our joy. And so all of these things, they're two different sides of the puzzle, but they fit together to bring happiness and joy into our lives so that we then can go out and share that with others.
Amazing what you're sharing. Wow. I hope everyone's listening and just taking in everything that Cheryl's sharing, because the sooner that you can start doing that, if you're not already, the sooner you are going to be on the road to recovery. And it doesn't matter whether you have a disease or not, but we're talking about prevention. So when you start out with a healthy body, even if something comes at you, you are going to be able to heal so much faster because your body is healthy. It can fight.
I went through it in 3 days because my body was strong enough, and my fever never went over 98, and I went through it with the speed of light because my body is strong now. And had I gotten sick like that 13 years ago when I crashed and burned, I probably would have been in bed for several months. So you want to build up your immunity. Yeah. You want your whole body to be functioning the way it's meant to, so that when things happen, and things always happen, the world throws all kinds of things at us, we want to be able to defend ourselves and to survive them and come out the other end as quickly as possible, and then go back to being our joyful, happy self.
Yes. Yeah. And then there's one more thing that I would like you to share, Cheryl, the spiritual aspect of the mind, body, spirit balance, the spiritual aspect. What can you share about that may help everyone?
Well, every night when I go to bed, I have a long conversation and I call in my spirit guides, I call in my angels, I call in my ancestors. I had 2 beautiful parents, and so I call them in. And I have and the universe or God or whatever it is you call it, and I have a long conversation with them. If there's anything really disturbing me that I found dark, I work on alchemizing it back to light. I share my gratitude for all of the amazing things I have in my life. My life is really good. When I got autoimmune disease, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. As nothing about my life is the same as the day I got sick. I was with a man who was not a true partner, who wouldn't change for me. Well, I found a guy who is 100% in tune with me. And so spiritually, we connect. We're on different paths that are parallel. I'm very grateful. I have this incredible house that's on top of a summit that gets incredible sunsets off of one side and sunrises off of the other, because we're up above everybody else in the area, and it is stunningly beautiful here. And we're 15 minutes south of Sedona, which is gorgeous, but we're also not in all the 10 million visitors that come to visit Sedona. So we're in our own little peaceful part of quiet country that's
Mm-hmm.
just stark beautiful. And so I have many blessings to be grateful for. So I thank them every night for all of these amazing things or anything particularly beautiful that happened during the day. And then I ask them for if there's anything that I need help with or that I want advisement on, I ask before I go to sleep. And then when I get up in the morning, I often have my direction already set because they've been working on it all night. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do, because I did not do any of this when I was working like a crazy person, is I have a conversation in the mirror. And I start off by saying, "Good morning, Cheryl. Have I told you yet today how much I love you?" Because I need to hear it, because
Yeah.
if I love myself,
Mm-hmm.
old habits are no longer a bother. They're non-negotiable to me. And then the next question I ask my body is, how do you feel today? And I
Mm.
get quiet and I listen, and the body speaks to me in symptoms, and it's very smart. So
Mm.
I then sit until all the symptoms, if there are any, pop up, and then I make a commitment to my body what I'm going to do to correct it, because I'm not going back. I
Mm-hmm.
feel way too great to ever go
Yeah.
back to feeling as lousy as I felt that day that I got sick. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a bargain that I have with my body. And then I do all my gratitude and all of that to set my day and set my day in terms of what healthy habits I'm going to concentrate on to take care of whatever's gone awry. All of that gets done at the beginning and the end of the day. And
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that all of them are actively involved in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having more and more moments of serendipity. And that's telling me that I'm on the right path, because I'll think something and then boom, bang, it's there. It's in my life.
Mm-hmm.
The sign is
Okay.
there. And so it's an exciting time for me to be alive. And I am
Yeah.
now 76, and I have a whole lot to do before I go to the other side.
Yeah.
But I have the energy to go do it now. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel better than I did in my 50s.
That was my next question. Do you feel you have more energy now than you did
Way
like
more.
when you were in your 50s? Yeah.
Worked really hard. I'm a Capricorn. We're the workhorses of the universe. But I have joyful energy now. Um, I can't work enough and get enough done. I have 8 million things I want to do. At the moment,
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing a course on self-love, because if you love yourself, that's the foundation for all your hopes and dreams. And then I'm working on a course for manifestation, because when you're in the higher vibrations is when you're at the right radio frequency that the universe can hear you, and they bring in all the things that you want to create, because I got a
Mm-hmm.
lot to do before I go to the other side.
Oh, so how would you describe yourself? What is it that you do to help people?
Mostly, at this point in my life, I share information. I am a Psych K instructor, which means I can actually help you go and reprogram um, limiting beliefs in your subconscious. I went
Mm-hmm.
through full training so that I can do that, because as I teach about food or I teach about healthy habits, the knowledge is only one part of it. If you don't implement it, it doesn't do you any good. And I
Mm-hmm.
finally figured out I needed to help people get over whatever the limited belief was that was stopping them from implementing. And so from Dr. Bruce Lipton, who loves Sedona and comes here all the time. And if you don't know who he is, he's the father of epigenetics. He's the man who discovered we're born with our DNA. We have a certain code, but that doesn't say what we're going to get. So if I have a
Mm-hmm.
long family history of cancer, it doesn't mean I'm going to get cancer, because
No.
what is important is the environment that my body is in and my lifestyle habits. And so
Okay.
that's now considered fact, although it was outrageously wild when he first came up with the theory. But
Mm-hmm.
he has a thing where he wants us all to create heaven on earth, and I really want to be part of that. So I want to encourage as many people to join me to come
Mm-hmm.
back to wellness physically, so that they feel the joy, and then for us all to go out, because the more of us doing this together, the stronger the energy and the further it travels to turn whatever dark we come into back to the light.
Oh, that's awesome. So do you work one-on-one or in groups or both?
I do a lot of conversations one-on-one, but I
Okay.
often now will send them to resources. I have several free flip books, one on how to eat, one on
Mm-hmm.
how to release the stress. I have a whole magazine, which is A to Z on health, which will
Mm-hmm.
pull the things that I had a hard time figuring out. Like, okay, I know how to eat when I'm in my home by myself, but what do I do when I go out with friends? How do I handle that? How do I vet a restaurant? How do I find a restaurant that can feed me what I want to eat? And if I
Yeah.
can't find a restaurant that feeds me what I want to eat, I carry car food with me or I carry a pack with me. All the things that I have figured out. When I go to a summit as a speaker, I'll take a jar salad
Mm-hmm.
it ahead of time with the dressing separate. All of those little jigsaw puzzles so that you can maintain your healthy lifestyle no matter what are in the magazine. So all of
Mm-hmm.
that is available for free. And then I have two books on Amazon that combined have won 24 awards. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is It Feels Good to Feel Good because that's important to me. I want you all to feel as good as I feel. And it's a step-by-step layman's guide of not having a clue what I was looking for and everything I learned to return to wellness. And then the second book, my functional doctor asked me to write, which is Feeling Good, Living Low Toxin in Community. And it's all the ways that I then integrated with my friends and family and when I travel. How do I maintain this life? And it talks about how I'm at a restaurant, all the things that I do to maintain my healthy life, no matter where I am, what I love about farmers markets and how I get to know all the farmers and what their practices are.
Yeah.
There's a whole section on healthy pets because I had
Mm-hmm.
three cats who got as sick as I did, and I lost them way before their time when I got sick. And it occurred to me they were also living in a toxic soup. So my two new little guys have a really good life because I've learned all about how to create a healthy life for them. There's a
Mm-hmm.
whole section in my second book on how to raise healthy children, which, believe it or not, starts a whole year before you even conceive, and it's from the male and the female. And
Mm-hmm.
kids today are being born with 298 toxins in their umbilical cord. So you don't want that. That's why kids have so many
Yeah.
allergies and problems. And
Yes.
heart disease is starting as early as 7 years old. So I didn't have children, but I'm very passionate to make sure mothers know everything that I can share with them on how
Mm-hmm.
to healthy children, because otherwise we're robbing them of their future. And then there's even a section in my second book of what do I do about bugs? Because you don't want to be using Tide, which is
Mm-hmm.
still just like the pesticides and the herbicides. Well, I don't want to be using Raid in my house. So
Yeah.
I actually met the man in New Mexico who's in charge of bug control for the state, and he shared all his secrets with me. So I have how you deal with roaches and ants and moths that are in your pantry, and it's all the natural solution to
Mm-hmm.
not using any poison in your house.
Yeah. Oh, I just love what you're sharing, Cheryl. There's so much of wisdom in what you are saying. And I'm sure all our community members that are listening is just going to connect with you and learn so much more from you. You have a beautiful community as well. And what I would like to share next, I left this for the end because we were talking a little bit before we came on. You live in Sedona, and many people know of Sedona as being this, this really spiritual place and all that, but I've been there and I loved it. But you living right there, I learned something today that I didn't know about the vortexes. So please share that with us and tell us whatever you like to share about Sedona, so people that are thinking of visiting will maybe hit these different sites when they are there.
Sedona is amazing, and the energy is strong here for a variety of reasons. It's naturally in the earth here, and then the Native Americans of this area were extremely peaceful and very high vibration themselves. And so all that energy permeates this area as well. And where my house is right between two of the most famous of the Native American sites. One is called Montezuma's Castle, which is where they built the houses way up in the red rocks, and then they used to pull the ladder up if they were attacked. And then the other one is called Montezuma's Well, where they stored all of their supplies, where it's over a waterway that it's and how they figured out how to get in and out of those caves, I have no idea. But there's something with vibration that when you do it in unison, it builds what's called the thought form and makes it even stronger. And there is so much spiritual energy coming from all directions that's one of the reasons this area is so spiritual. But one of the most fascinating things I discovered is there are male vortexes, there are female vortexes, and there's one universal vortex that's on Bell Rock. Bell Rock has all three. Female vortexes twist counterclockwise. So if you're looking at a tree, the trunk goes counterclockwise, it twists. And that's the place where you can release or forgive or let go of the past, because a female vortex is that loving, compassionate energy that accepts the letting go so that you can live in the now and be here at this point in time. The male vortexes are where you manifest your future. But you manifest the future also in the now. You have to stay in the now and feel it as if it's occurring right now, because the future hasn't happened yet. So you want to pull it in by experiencing it in the now, and that you do on a male vortex. And then Bell Rock, which is a very unusual shaped rock here, also beams up to the universe, and they believe that that's why there's so much UFO activity in this area. And the thing that's most fascinating about the UFOs to me is I haven't seen one since I've been here, but I'm told that if we had a high-speed camera taking pictures, we would get pictures of them all the time. They are there, but we don't necessarily see them with the naked eye. But if we're taking tons of pictures, you catch them all the time here, which I think is fascinating too. And I look out over wide open U.S. forestry property, so the stars and the skies here are unbelievable.
The energy there is just so amazing. It's, oh my gosh, you can just feel it. Anyone can feel that energy. Yeah, and like I said, I went to that top of that, the rock the rock, right? That's where that church is?
The cathedral. It's actually a Catholic cathedral.
Yes.
On top of a female vortex.
Yeah, and I didn't know that until I asked you, because you mentioned the male and female. I didn't know that, and I thought you have to share it with our community, because I don't think many people know about that. And I told you how I felt, when I was in that church, and I felt the energy of Mother Mary, and I work closely with the Divine Feminine. And when I asked you, you said, "Oh no, that's a female vortex." Okay, it made sense.
All over here. There are many of them.
There are many, yes.
That has both a male and a female vortex, and then it has a monument in the middle of it. So you manifest, you release, and then you walk around the stupa 3 times one way and walk around it 3 times the other to make sure that the universe is getting the signal of what you're doing.
Yeah, so you living right there, you're always high energy.
Well, and my husband is as spiritual as I am, and we just built our own labyrinth outside in the shape of a heart. It's beautiful. And at the top of it is called a life particle symbol. It's a Tao symbol. My husband's here because there's an enormous Tao community here with a 200-acre retreat just outside of town. And the life particle symbol is where we go. I had a friend who was getting brain surgery done, and John and I both went out and sent healing energy through the life particle symbol to him, and they weren't sure how the surgery was going to go through, and he went through with flying colors. So he wrote and said, "I don't know what you guys did, but thank you so much." The energy out there is very high, and it faces directly to Bell Rock, which you can see in the distance. And then we have the labyrinth, and we have a pot where you can release or a pot where you can manifest. And either pick up a plain rock, or we bought a kit so that you can paint your own rock if you want to, and use it as the symbol of your intention to release it to the universe from there.
Oh my gosh. That's, yeah, love that. I could actually feel the energy while you're talking about it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And I was
Um,
thinking, we have a pet crow out there that loves us. He hangs out next to the labyrinth and he talks to us when we're out there. It's a riot.
yeah. Oh, that's, yeah. And so Cheryl, you shared so much with us. Thank you for all the knowledge and wisdom you brought to our community today. Is there something that I didn't ask you yet that you'd like to share?
One thing, in February, I am planning a retreat at our house here because it's very beautiful here. I have on my page a link tree that will take you to anything you ever wanted to know about the retreat. It's my bio, John's bio, what the retreat's going to be like. You're going to be eating great lunches and breakfasts that are healthy, and only they'll
Hmm.
still be gourmet and delicious. We have a movie called Life Heals that was on PBS that we're playing on a movie night that was done by two women that are friends of ours. It's going to be an exciting retreat based on self-love and manifestation because those are the two keys to creating heaven on earth for yourself. And so I want to spend time with that. And if you love yourself, I can reprogram some other limiting belief using my Psych-K. If you
Hmm.
don't love yourself when you get here, you will love yourself when you leave. Because I can go into your subconscious. I can facilitate you going into your subconscious and
Yeah.
changing that so that you have that piece of self-love in yourself, because then you get out of your way to go, fear is gone. If you love
Hmm.
yourself, you then have the roadmap to take yourself to manifest all your hopes and dreams that you've been looking for.
Wonderful. Make sure you add that link too in the comments and then put each link in a new comment so they all stand out.
Okay.
And I'll let you know as soon as I post this. So I know you shared so much, Cheryl. What's one little nugget you'd like to leave with our community that they will remember you by?
We are all creators, way more than we have been led to believe. So whether you need to recreate your own wellness or you have a dream for success that you've always gotten in your own way for, you got to get out of your way because you have the power. So own it. Get into the higher vibrations. Be grateful because that's how the universe knows what to give to you, and they'll give you more. You pull in what you put out. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And so you have the ability to create any life that you want, right down to I was not in a good relationship when I got sick, and I have my perfect partner now who is on my complete vibration that I'm on, and
Mhm.
he just wants me to be happy. I didn't know that that existed. So we support each other 100%, and it's really beautiful. So you can. I got divorced in my 30s, and I was by myself for a long time. So
Yeah.
I now have the perfect partner. It starts with self-love, and then you can create the rest of it. So get out of your own way, accept that you're a creator, and then go do it.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. There you go. Beautiful souls. I hope you listen to that and connect with Cheryl. So how can people connect with you, Cheryl?
I'm very active on my Facebook page. I talk all things health. I talk all things vibration. And I give a healthy recipe every day. And the difference in my recipe is I have 19 food sensitivities, so you don't want to cook like I do. But you do want to cook healthy. So I take other people's recipes and tell you how to source all the ingredients so that it's clean. And I can take any recipe and make it so that my body's happy, so that it feeds me for all the energy that I need for all the things I want to do. So every day and it could be a dessert, it might be a main course, it might be a soup, but every day you get a recipe from me because I want you to cook your own food so that
Hmm.
you control what goes into your body.
Yes. And while you add it, add some spice to it, because I'm the spice girl, the real one.
They are loaded with phytonutrients. They are loaded with gifts that turn on all the important parts of the body.
Hmm.
So spices are very important.
Yes, yeah, that's what helped us in our healing journey. And you do a recipe every day, Cheryl?
Every day I post a
Oh
recipe.
my gosh.
And if you come to my retreat, I did a cookbook. Of the first year I did a recipe every day. It's called From My Rainbow Files. So that
Mm-hmm.
you have a big group of recipes that is in a PDF form so you can search it and put in the ingredients and have it pull up all the recipes that I posted that use that. Because
Oh,
how you eat influences your mood, your body function, and everything else about you. So
yeah.
eating is foundational.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. I'm gonna go check those recipes out. I hope everyone listening will do the same.
On my page. So if you want to know, like today I made something with artichokes. I went and searched my page and pulled up all the recipes where I used artichokes, and then I went and found the recipe I wanted. It's easy to search on my
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Oh, good. That's good to know. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for, you shared so much today. And I'm so glad you came to our community and, they will benefit so much from listening to you. It's not difficult to do. It's simple, everyday things that we can all do.
And lifestyle habits, you are completely in charge of. You don't need anybody's permission to
No, absolutely. Yes. Yes. And then when it becomes habit, like brushing your teeth, it's a win-win.
Yeah, well, and it's non-negotiable for me now.
That's right. It's even for me, it's non-negotiable. And I think as long as we can encourage others to do that, then we're well on our way of healing our communities and our world, really, one person at a time.
And that's also how you manifest. What you want needs to be non-negotiable, and doing
Yes.
things that will pull it into you needs to be non-negotiable. That's how they hear you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you
Thank
so much, Cheryl. Thank you. I've got to know you. I just met you, and I feel like I've known you all my life.
you for having me. This has been so much.
Amazing. Thank you, though. Thank you for coming and speaking with our community today. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Until the next interview, bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.